Welcome back to Unlock English Podcast. I'm Quinn.
And I'm Miley. Today, we're tackling one of the most important questions every language learner faces. How do you prioritize your language learning journey? There's so much to study. Where do you even begin?
That's exactly what we're diving into today. Learning a new language, whether it's English or something else, can feel overwhelming with everything you need to know. Grammar, vocabulary, speaking, listening, reading, writing. It's a lot, right?
It sure is. But here's the thing. You don't need to do it all at once. By focusing on the most important skills first, you'll learn faster and be able to communicate more effectively. So, let's break down a strategy that will guide your learning in a smarter way.
Let's kick it off with listening. Arguably the most important skill when learning any language. Even before you start speaking, it's vital to get your ears used to the language. It helps you understand the rhythm, pronunciation, and flow of the language.
Right, Quinn. Think about it. When you're a child, you learn to speak by listening to others first. The same principle applies when you're learning a new language. The more you listen, the better you'll be able to recognize words and phrases in conversations.
Absolutely. The key is to start simple. You don't need to understand everything right away. Start by listening to easy material like podcasts, YouTube videos, or short audio clips in English. Even if you don't catch every word, just keep listening. It's about exposure.
And here's a little pro tip. Focus on content that you enjoy. Whether it's music, movies, or podcasts, the more you enjoy it, the more likely you are to keep listening consistently.
Exactly. So, even if it's just 10 to 15 minutes a day, make listening a habit. Over time, you'll notice your ear becoming more attuned to the language.
Now, here's where some people get nervous. Speaking early on can be scary for many language learners. But guess what? You have to speak from the beginning if you want to improve fast.
That's right. A lot of learners wait until they're perfect before speaking. But that's the mistake. The more you practice speaking, even with simple sentences, the more you'll improve.
Exactly. You can start by practicing small phrases like, "How are you?" or "Where is the bathroom?" Speaking helps you reinforce what you hear, and it makes you more comfortable with the language.
And even if you make mistakes, who cares? The key is to practice. Each time you speak, you'll get a little bit better.
One really helpful tip is to use language exchange apps like Tandem or HelloTalk. These apps connect you with native speakers or other learners, and you can practice speaking every day.
Yeah, it's a great way to get comfortable using real-world language. Plus, you'll receive feedback that can help you improve faster. Now let's talk about vocabulary. One of the most important things to focus on is core vocabulary, the words you're going to use most often in conversations.
Exactly. You don't need to memorize every single word in the dictionary. Instead, focus on the most common words. For instance, learn the top 1,000 words in English. This will give you the foundation for understanding and speaking in 80% of everyday situations.
And remember, it's not just about learning random words. Learn phrases. For example, it's more useful to know how to say, "I'd like a coffee," than just knowing the word coffee. Phrasal verbs are also critical. Words like pick up, turn off, or give up are used all the time by native speakers.
You're absolutely right, Quinn. Start with high-frequency vocabulary that you'll use on a daily basis. And remember, consistency is key. Use these words in sentences as much as possible so they really stick in your memory.
And don't forget about the context in which these words are used. Practice them in conversations, even if they're simple. This is how you'll build your vocabulary in a practical, usable way.
Once you've mastered listening, speaking, and vocabulary, you can shift your focus to reading and writing. But here's the thing. Don't worry about jumping into complex novels or long essays too soon.
Exactly. Start with easier texts, things like children's books, news articles, or short stories. These are perfect for building your reading comprehension without getting overwhelmed.
For writing, keep it simple too. You don't need to write novels at first. Start by writing short sentences or even a daily journal. It helps you practice new vocabulary and sentence structures, and it reinforces what you've learned.
And don't forget, reading and writing are helpful, but they're secondary to listening and speaking when you're just starting. Those should always be your primary focus.
Now, let's touch on grammar. A lot of language learners spend so much time worrying about grammar rules. But the truth is, you don't need to know everything right away.
Absolutely. Start with the basics. Verb tenses like present, past, and future, simple sentence structures, and basic prepositions like in, on, and at. These are the building blocks of good communication.
Once you've got these essentials down, then you can dive deeper into more complex grammar rules. But don't get bogged down in the details too early on. Focus on what will help you communicate first.
So here's the bottom line. Start with listening and speaking, then build up your vocabulary, practice reading and writing, and finally, tackle grammar when you're ready. The key to all of this is consistency.
Exactly. Even 15 to 20 minutes a day of focused practice will make a huge difference over time. It's about the habit, not the amount of time you spend each day.
Stay motivated and remember, it's not about being perfect. It's about getting better little by little every day.
That's right. We hope this episode helps you feel more confident in how to prioritize your learning journey. Stay consistent, focus on the essentials, and the rest will follow.
Thanks for tuning into Unlock English Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe for more language tips and tricks.